5 things. Just 5, really. If I were to give you a list of characteristics of admired leaders and asked you to pick the top 5, could you get it right? And I'll give you the right. But then once we're there, once you've done that, this is all you got to do. So we're going to make it simple. Here are the 5 most admired characteristics of leaders, or the 5 characteristics of most admired leaders. Move the words around however you want. 5 things. Honest, forward-looking, inspiring, competent, and fair-minded. Comes from some research by some guys by the name of Kouzes and Posner, and bar none, universal, top of the scale, big numbers. Honesty is number 1. Universal. When I talk leadership, and particularly when I talk traits and principles of leadership and human behaviors, these are universal principles. What does that mean? It means every culture on the face of the earth responds to these things in the same way. Joy looks the same in every culture. Fear looks the same. Love looks the same. Honesty looks the same. Right, so these are things that humans just universally, it's kind of like in our DNA, respond to. So honesty, bar none, universal. By the way, when I say universal principles, particularly as we talk about ways to coach and lead and mentor and all that stuff, and I say, yes, these are universal principles, do I mean works all the time on everybody? Wouldn't that be nice? What we really have is works most of the time on most everybody. That's what we mean by universal principles. So honest, forward-looking, inspiring, competent, and fair-minded. Look, honest is, you get it, right? It's the root of all relationships. It's the currency of all relationships. It's you trust somebody or you don't. We can throw some synonyms in there: honesty, integrity, trust. But from a leadership perspective, if I don't trust you, I will not follow you. By the way, I may come to work because I like my paycheck, but I am not going to bust my ass for you. So honesty, again, so many ways. And this is not about, are you a liar? Look, if you're a liar, you're a liar. This is about, do you live up to your commitments? If you're a liar, I'll find that out pretty darn quick. When I come to you with a pay issue, and you say, Wally, I'll look into it and I get back to you, and then you don't get back to me, that's a little hit on the integrity side. When I say, hey, I'll call you next Tuesday at 2, and I don't, am I a liar? Nah. And we all kind of get that get out of jail free card these days, but as busy as we are and with all the technology in our hands, we still miss some calls from time to time. Or I did it the other day. I forgot to put one on a calendar, totally missed it. I don't make that mistake very often. So living up to your commitments, the micro commitments, as opposed to this macro, are you a liar? Right? So honesty, integrity, trust. Do not pass go. If you do not have that, if you do not exude that, if you do not create that in your relationship with your people, just quit. You got nothing. That one's pretty obvious. Forward-looking. Other words to describe this, we have the setting direction and the planning that we would get from Cotter out of Harvard, but do you have a plan? Are you forward-looking? Now, at the crew level, one of the greatest examples I saw of this, I wish I could tell you where I got it, but it was a contractor, site guys a couple years back, said, Wally, we have a 2-2-2 philosophy. We want our foreman looking out 2 days, our superintendent's looking out 2 weeks, and our project manager is looking out 2 months. And we could add to that the executives are looking out 2 years. But if you've got that horizon, it means we're never going to run out of stuff. We're always going to have the right labor, materials, equipment to do the job successfully. And oh, by the way, if you, my boss, are forward-looking, are looking further out while I'm looking down in the hole, doing the thing, it gives me hope. Hope that the job is still going to be here. Hope that you're going to be taking care of the company. Hope that I'm still going to be employed 2 years from now. So I expect you to be looking out into the future, because that's not what I'm getting paid to do. So forward looking, Pretty simple. Inspiring. I don't like the word, but it's the word that the research shows. Once again, inspiration. Some of you are introverts. Some of you are data people. Some of you are not inspirational. And isn't it like, hey, let's go, that kind of a rah-rah kind of a thing, which, by the way, could be pretty annoying. So rather than inspirational or inspiring, let's go with passionate. Are you passionate about the work? Do you care about the work? When you come to work, are you bright-eyed, leaning in, energetic, or are you coming in the morning like, God, this sucks? Because if it sucks to you, it's gonna suck to me. If you are bright-eyed and energetic, I may respond positively, universal principles most of the time on most people, but I guarantee you if you're a sucking hole of negativity, I'm gonna get sucked right in there with you. So, do you look at how you show up every day, right? What does that look like? Passion, best way to describe it. Care about the work, I might. You don't care, I won't. Competent. This is technical proficiency. So whatever it is from a leader perspective. So if I work in IT, I want my leader to be competent as it relates to all the things related to doing IT stuff. If I work in accounting, I want my leader to be competent in all the things related to debits and credits and AP and AR and all that money stuff. If I work in the field, I want my leader to be competent with dirt, safety, machines, pipe, those kinds of things. Here's why. First of all is empathy. If you've never been in the hole, how can you have empathy for somebody who's in the hole? Right? If you've never been in the hole, how can you have empathy for somebody who's in the hole? Hot, cold, wet, dry, day, night. Let's face it, it can be pretty rough out there. So if you don't know what that's like, you don't have empathy for me. So that's part of what the competence thing is. The other thing is, can you help me do my job better? Right? One of the things I want from my boss, from my leader, is help, guidance, instruction, training. To look down and go, hey, try using your left hand instead of your right hand, or try doing this with the pedal, right? To coach me, to help me get better. If you don't have competence at the thing, how can you help me get better at the thing? I mean, I think we've all worked for someone in our life who had no clue what we were doing. And it was terrible. Also because they couldn't advocate for us with what we needed, with other parts of the company. So competence. And then fair-minded. Fair-minded says that I treat people fairly, that I treat everyone on my crew, my team, my company fairly. Notice I didn't say equally. People are smart. They don't expect equal treatment. Here's what that looks like, and it's kind of an absurd example, but you'll get it as soon as I say it. So Susan comes to me and says, hey, can I leave 2 hours early tomorrow? My daughter has a soccer game. I'd like to go see it. Absolute, Susan, you leave 2 hours early. Not a problem. And then Bob comes to me and he says, hey, I got a doctor's appointment. Can I come to work 3 hours late? No, you can leave 2 hours early. Well, I don't need to leave 2 hours early. I need to come to work 3 hours late or 2 hours late, whatever. No, we treat everyone the same here. So Susan left 2 hours early, you can leave. You see the stupidity in that, right? Fairness says, hey, Susie, you leave 2 hours early. Hey, Bob, you come in 3 hours late. Do what you got to do. I'll take care of you, right? That's what we mean by fair-minded. Extend it a different way. Who always gets the good job? Who always gets the crap job? Hey, look, you can have favorites. I have favorites. But does it always look like the favorites are getting the easy work? Oh, by the way, sometimes we take our best people and we put them on the worst jobs time after time after time because they can handle it. Yeah, and then you burn them out. So fair-minded, you get it. It's looking at the entire organization, looking at all the people on your crew and treating them fairly, equitably, not equally. It's a really big difference with that. So if you go through the day I know when you wake up in the morning, you're not putting yourself through this checklist of, am I honest? Am I forward-looking? Am I inspiring? Am I competent? Am I fair-minded? You're not, but your people are. So this is probably something you want to visit from time to time. So next time you look in the mirror, or the next time you get out of the truck and look in that rear view mirror before you get on the job site, grade yourself on all 5 of those characteristics, because those have been determined to be 5 of the universal characteristics of admired leaders. You will not regret spending time getting better at those 5 things.